Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Flash and Dash podcast. However, my partner in crime, Dash, is out for the count tonight, so my man Cee One is filling tonight. How you feeling?
Still trying to figure out what to do with my hands.
See, that's terrible. That's so as
man, just maintaining. You know what I mean?
Yeah, okay. Getting into anything special lately?
Man, couple things, man. Photo shoots, studio sessions, just getting this rollout ready for when they tell us COVID ain't scary no more.
Yeah,
I'm being a good guy right now.
Yeah, we'll get there when we get there. So as usual, a lot of game talk on this show. So what we got here in this last week, we talking about some stuff, some Cyberpunk, some Xbox things. So with that said, let's just go ahead and hit that Cyberpunk news. So, we got a new Cyberpunk 2077 trailer, and there was a lot of people that got extensive hands-on time, with the first part of the game, the first couple of hours or so. And thus far, the kind of consensus is that, it's going to be big things coming, The game apparently looks great. I mean, just from looking at the trailer, the game looks great. And there was a lot of actual in-game footage in the trailer, not just cutscenes and CG stuff. So that looks great. And, I wish I was one of those people that got hands-on time, but I wasn't. But again, just going off of what people said, it looks great. I'm looking forward to it. It's, Cyberpunk is, CD Projekt Red. If you're not familiar with them, that means you haven't played any of the Witcher games. And if you have, then you already know what to expect. This is going to be The Witcher, except, just kind of bigger, and it's set in a different time, set in a different, that futuristic. And like my man C said, he pointed out before, it's kind of like futuristic. It's like a old school futuristic where he was like, what'd you say? Like, it's like they stopped.
Retro futuristic.
Yeah, retro futuristic. I like that because it's like they had old stuff and they just stopped like changing things, and then everything else just, continued to modernize, but a lot of things got left behind in the process. But again, like I said, the game looks dope. For me, I'm looking forward to it because I didn't play a lot of the Witcher games. I played enough of them to know that they're great. I just don't have the time to grind away at The Witcher 3 for 100 to 200 hours. I just don't. Not to say I'm going to have the time to grind away at this game, but I feel like this game might be slightly more condensed than The Witcher 3 is in comparison. But I just like modern stuff. I just like futuristic. I like modern things. So I'll probably be drawn to play this game more. Plus, being the game that it'll probably be the literal new hotness come that time of year, I'm just going to want to play it. I'm just going to want to play it, and I'm going to get it. Everybody's going to get it, and I'm going to play it. I know you have your drawbacks. I mean, mainly because it's first person, and you're not a first person type of player. But I don't know. Tell me how you feel. What you think. Like, how you feeling about it? What you like? Don't you?
No, sir. I don't like it. I'll say this. We were talking earlier, and I mentioned, I played Dishonored.
Right.
I loved Dishonored. I don't remember if I finished the whole thing. I probably did, but I just can't remember if I did or not. And I had a good time playing that. And then I also was very into Thief, which is weird. So with those two games, I think it's more so it's the first-person shooter I'm probably more in particularly not that into. I don't like it's the thing that's not realistic about it to me is if I get hit on this side of my body,
right,
I'm gonna know immediately in real life.
This is correct.
But sometimes a bullet hits you from behind, and you gotta take a second. So they might be shooting, a handgun. They might be throwing rocks at you, what I'm saying? But they might be shooting automatic. So that second them other rounds start hitting you, now you're losing health just trying to figure out which way you're supposed to run.
Right. You know, I'm gonna jump in here on that. On before I forget that. You know what would be a dope idea? As you're saying this, I thought of an idea that would kind of help with that, right?
Okay.
When you have you playing the game and that happens, what would it do for you as a gamer with that in mind, if the vibration on the controller directionally told you what direction that came from? Like if it came from back right, the rumble might only come from the bottom right corner of the controller, like in that right palm of your hand. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm.
Like if it came from top left, it would rumble just in that little top left part. Like I feel like that's one of those things that could be something that, generationally speaking, next jump, that's something that could be implemented. I mean, of course, that would also be a developer thing, but working with the technology of the new consoles. But I really feel like that could be a thing, like, contextual rumble specific, like that could be a thing. Like I feel like,
yeah, absolutely,
like that
would improve that part of the experience.
Yeah, like I feel like that could absolutely be a thing. Like there's no reason why it couldn't be. I mean, I'm sure there'd be a lot of technical reasons that might make it more difficult to program that, but I'm sure you could do it.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah, are you going to get Cyberpunk? Like that's like is it enough? Is what you've seen enough to make you want to get it, even for somebody that spent time playing The Witcher?
Not on launch.
Okay.
Like I might catch me a little sale, a little 60% off sale. And I see it for $19.99. I'd be like, ooh, and I buy it.
You know how we do.
hey, I waited a little while on that, man.
Oh man, we jumped over
Diablo.
That Diablo did.
Diablo 3, bro. I waited for that shit and I paid the fuck
off. $20, yes, sir.
Like really? Okay.
Facts. That's facts. But I feel you on that. I mean, I don't know. Again,
what I'm saying is it's gonna have to be one of those like I'm excited to play it, but I'm not pressed about it to pay retail. Just to play, it feels like one of them games that I might have for like 3 weeks, and then by the end of the month, I'm not thinking about it no more.
Right. I feel you. I mean, yeah. I mean, I'm there with you. I mean, I'm just curious to see how
you gotta wonder how complex the game is to the point where, if you don't play it for about 5-6 days, and you play a couple of other games in between that are similar to it. You know what I'm saying? You might have jumped on Warzone a couple of times or whatever.
Right.
Now you get back to it, and maybe you don't remember all the controls. You like, man, I ain't got time to relearn this shit, man. I'll play it later. You turn it off.
I hate that.
I do it all the time, especially with like Game Pass games. I do it all the time with Game Pass games.
Game Pass is so great. Game Pass is so great.
So is it that game that like maybe like another 5-6 days passes and you see it, but you try to download like an update for something, probably Warzone, and then
yeah, because that's
Xbox puts it at the top of the recommend to delete.
Right. You're like, what? Because we already know that joint, that damn Call of Duty clearing almost 200 gigs at this point.
Right. Damn. Like, then they told me, yo, you should delete your save, I think the data packs. I was like, what do you mean?
Right. No.
They're like, not the ones that apply to what you playing, just delete the ones that don't apply to what you play. And I'm like, I have no idea which one. It just says data pack.
Right. You're like, which one is which? Like,
I don't know what connects to what. So what am I supposed? And they didn't even specify. So in other words, don't delete nothing.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Otherwise, you're gonna be downloading 200 gigs over the next 2 days.
Anyway, because we ain't gonna get into that.
That was a hella tangent, though.
Yeah, seriously. But nah, but
my point being, I just wouldn't be pressed about it. Is my square answer.
okay, fair enough. Bet. So with that said, let's talk about Xbox. Let's talk about Microsoft. I don't know if you've heard, but there's a lot of news in the past week. There's a lot of hype about Microsoft's next show coming in July. There's a lot of been talk from Phil Spencer, the head of the Xbox. A lot of mic drop moments, expected to happen. There's been a lot of tech talk, a lot of spec talk, and a lot of, like Microsoft is going to show out, right? So I've been thinking about this over the last few days, and you start asking yourself, what does Microsoft have to? Because we all sort of, some of us watched the whole Sony show, some of us watched bits and pieces. We got enough information, even if you didn't watch the whole thing. You got the information you needed to get. You saw what it looked like, and you saw some of the games, and you saw some cutscenes. So
a lot of cutscenes.
So I'm like, okay.
Like, I don't want to sit around watching game trailers. Show me some gameplay, but
right.
Anyway, yeah.
Right, exactly. So I think Microsoft is in a great position here because they kind of led off these events with that joint that they had in May that was trash. I ain't gonna hold you. Like, I'm not gonna. I've been telling people this. Like, I'm not like, I prefer Microsoft as my primary console, and no, I don't currently own a PlayStation 4, but I did at one point. But again, I'm not overly biased to not speak the truth when it's true. That Microsoft show was trash. That Xbox event they had in May was trash. Like, it was like, gameplay event that they showed no gameplay. Like, okay, you just show again. Yeah, like the gameplay event was just games. They were just showing games, like, and they were just showing cutscenes. Like, I didn't come here for cutscenes. I came here for You said it was a gameplay event, and you just showed cutscenes. Like, it was trash. But they showed some games that had good potential, even still. But I think they're in a good position with this next show going after what Sony did, because they can come with price on the console. They could come with a date on the console, and they could show gameplay from their hitters, mainly Halo Infinite. Halo Infinite is in position to put Microsoft in a very favorable position or not, right? Because Halo Infinite needs to be Halo returning to greatness. Because, me and you are very familiar with the original Halo days. You put me on to Halo, and Halo was the most important game for Xbox, period, in its entire history. Because, because if Halo wasn't what it was out of the gate for the original Xbox wasn't even getting anywhere. Like, and Halo put Microsoft on its, let me not say Microsoft. Halo put the Xbox on its back and ran with it and carried it for a whole 2 consoles. Like, so
I'm not lying. Go ahead.
Which is why the Xbox One stumbled in comparison to the PS4, because there was no Halo to carry it. Because Halo 5 Guardians was like, it was okay, but it wasn't like Halo. It didn't make you feel like, this is Halo. It was just, it was another game in the Halo series. It's like, Halo Infinite needs to be Halo. It needs to feel like Halo. It needs to be immersive. It needs to be that experience that we remember from Halo 2. Like, hey, like, it needs to be that. And I think they need to show that I think they need to show Halo Infinite full gameplay, like a 10-minute gameplay where they show you they show you the intro to the level, and it's not gameplay yet, but the characters are just kind of walking around, and like Cortana's talking, and they're setting up what you have to do on that level, and then it goes into gameplay. But they need to have that, like a 10-minute solid gameplay.
Go nuts over that.
Yo, at the end of this show. The beginning of the show needs to be something that we don't know about yet. It needs to be like, and don't know about, not necessarily don't know about per se, but maybe haven't seen yet, like a new Fable, right? Like, because people have been talking about that forever, but we don't know nothing about it. There's no confirmation. There's no leakage of information. There's nothing. It's just like, well, Microsoft might be doing a new Halo or a Fable or reboot or whatever. A game like that needs to lead the show off. And then at the end of the show, bam, you get 10 minutes of Halo Infinite actual gameplay, HUD, like with the full HUD, everything. You get it running at its full frames per second rate, whatever it is. Like, I want to see it where it's like show me the full capability where it's showing me no load time and all of that shit. Just let me go boom, boom. Show me all of that. Like, that would be a mic drop moment for Microsoft to show that. Plus the price of the console and the date of the console. Because because we're getting speculative price on PS5, but nobody's like, so Microsoft could undercut all of that and be like, yo, this is the price. And by the way, here's our digital version of our console, and it's like half the price. Like, these are mic drop moments that Microsoft could absolutely, they're in position to like.
Yeah, they still got Lockhart tucked away too.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like, they could come with that. Like, I don't know. Like, that's something that they could come with. Like, I don't like. What do you think? Like, I just like.
I think what you said, I agree 100% with what you just said right there. So if they do that, the trailer, and you thinking you just watching a regular ass trailer, like they don't talk about actually dropping gameplay, and they just do that shit. That's one of the moments, like, the moments where there's like a phenomenal moment in a game, and you hear the whole crowd go crazy over that shit. Like, when the HUD comes up, my goodness. Right. And here's the real kicker, right? After all the PlayStation fans just finished watching the PlayStation event, and we've been having this little back and forth, Sony, PlayStation, Microsoft, Xbox, back and forth. Now they get to see this, and they're like, wow, they just showed 10 minutes of gameplay.
They show like the killer, right? Because we didn't get no gameplay from Spider-Man. We didn't get any. We got gameplay from Ratchet and Clank. Come on, son.
and Last of Us 2 should have just came out on the next console.
That's a PS4 game. I don't count that as a PS5 game. That's just
like, why did y'all do that? Like, you could have just waited a few more months. Like, they would have waited for the game.
They could have.
And people would have bought PS5 to play Last of Us 2.
Absolutely. And just like the other joint coming out, Ghost of Tsushima. Like, people would have bought a console to play that.
So what I think is happening now is, I feel like Microsoft sort of took a real kick in the pants for this gen as far as console sales.
They did. But again, going to the next gen, they don't care about console sales. Which I got a good point to that coming forward, but go ahead. Yeah, continue.
But what they did was they kicked ass in subscriptions.
Because Game Pass is fire.
And they had the gold, and then they had Game Pass, and then they combined them. Now you got Game Pass Ultimate.
Like, come on.
Which is what I got now. And what I do, I just kick out. It's $44.99 every 3 months.
And you don't even, real talk, you don't even always have to kick that out. Because I just got the deal I got like a few weeks ago was a joint
sometimes you get
Best Buy 3 months,
deal.
$25. Those deals are still there. Like,
thanks.
Because they want you to have it. Like, and again, these companies, these other retail companies, they put the shit on sale. So it's like, sure, I'm gonna scoop that up, like $25 for 3 months of Ultimate. Yes, sir. Thank you, please. Like, all day. Yeah. And it's funny because we could transition right into what I was gonna mention is that going into that next gen is that it's subscription. For Microsoft, it's about subscription. It's about the cloud-based shit and streamer access, right? So the all access shit. Because right now, the all access thing has been very positive in the markets where you can get it. And for anybody that doesn't know what the Xbox All Access is the Xbox All Access is basically functions like a cell phone subscription. Like, so you can get an Xbox, you can get and I've talked about this before, but you can get an Xbox, you can get, it comes with 24 months of Game Pass Ultimate, and you get the upgrade option where, well, now that time has passed, but if you had it, once you make 18 payments, and even though the time might still pass, you might still be able to do it, but after you make 18 payments, you can upgrade to the Series X. So if you have the Xbox One, if you get a Xbox One S, it's like $23 a month, or an Xbox One X is $25 a month. And why you wouldn't just get an Xbox One X is silly.
Right.
So let's just pretend the X doesn't exist in this conversation. So you can get an Xbox One X with 24 months of Game Pass Ultimate, and the free upgrade to the Series X after 18 months of payments for $25 a month. How do you beat that?
Is that what they're
doing?
You
get a console. Yes, bro. You go on Microsoft's website. They have this. You get a console X, the Series X. I mean, the Xbox One X, current generation console. The best.
You see me bugging though.
Their top of the line console. 24 months of Game Pass Ultimate, and the free upgrade option after 18 months for $25 a month. Are you kidding me? You
don't have to buy the console?
No, there's no upfront cost. None. Zero. Zilch. Nada. You just pay the monthly cost. So this is even better than a cell phone provider deal. Because with a cell phone provider, you gotta kick in, if you want the top of the line joint, you gotta kick in like a few $100s up front.
Yeah.
And then you start paying the monthly cost. This is just straight up, no upfront cost. You're just paying the monthly.
So I could just get a 1X right now.
You're in that contract for 2 years, but
because the thing is, I'm already paying for my Game Pass anyway, so I'm like,
exactly.
Like
and with the Game Pass,
whatever, ain't nothing.
And with the Game Pass Ultimate, you're getting Xbox Live Gold. So
that's the deal right now.
That like legit, you go on Microsoft website, they'll link you to like a Best Buy. There's 2 companies physically where you have to do it, either Amazon or Best Buy. And depending on where you are locally, the Best Buy may or may not have the deal in stock. But yeah, like that's a thing. It's Xbox All Access. And that's crazy because, and Phil Spencer has talked about this, this is part of their plan going forward to expand that program and have that type of immersion. Yes. So you see the deal, and have that immersion be where Microsoft goes. This is their plan. This is their plan to get Game Pass and to get people subscribed and to get people just to have the console, to not have to spend the money up front. Because you want all of this, but you're like, do I want to drop $300, $400 on a 1X? And do I want to drop $500-$600 on a Series X when that drops? Maybe I could wait. Yeah, you could wait. Sure. Get a 1X now, under this deal. And in 18 months, you can get a free upgrade to the Series X anyway. So and most of the hot games that you buy in now are going to have smart delivery. So you're not going to be asked out when you get your Series X and you trade it and you give them back the 1X, because that's what happens. You give them back the 1X and then they give you the new console after 18 months. I'm like, yo, this is great. This is better than what cell phone companies do. Because cell phone companies, you're paying, and they're like, oh, you want to upgrade? Well, you're going to have to pay for that upgrade anyway. But you can get a little something on it, but you're going to have to pay for that upgrade. This is a free upgrade to the Series X. Yeah, you got to wait 18 months. And for the people that had been doing this, that were smart enough to do this a year ago, because this program has been out for a while.
I did not know that.
Yeah, so the people have been doing this, they're like, they're chomping at the bit right now because they're getting ready to get a Series X when that shit drops for free. They, and I use the term free, but quote me on the quote unquote. But for you paying $25 a month, like, come on. How is that not the best deal? Game Pass by itself is the best deal going. This whole deal, like as a whole, is like bananas. It's crazy. And that's Microsoft's bag. And that's where their plan is going forward. And I appreciate that. I'm here for it because, again, the company is going different directions. It's not Sony's thing. Sony needs you. Sony wants and needs you to buy a PS5 because they don't have anything else going. And don't talk to me about PS Now because that shit's garbage. I don't want to hear about that. Nobody kind of drop in the comments talk about PS Now because it's trash, especially in comparison to Game Pass. It's super trash. Game Pass is, and let's not forget that Project xCloud is there also. That's also a mic drop moment once they get on stage and they're like, Project xCloud will go out of beta and live when we drop the Series X console day one. That's another mic drop moment because xCloud has been. I was playing xCloud last night on my phone. I was playing Tekken 7 online on my phone, connected to Wi-Fi, just because I felt like it.
What they should really do, because I don't know if you know, but Microsoft owns Nokia, is they should just drop a phone that's optimized to play Project xCloud.
That makes, and it's funny. I think some of the upcoming, I think Samsung has something going with Microsoft where they were trying to have it implemented in the S20, but I don't think that necessarily worked. It followed through, but yeah, you're absolutely right. They should do that or release their own shit. Microsoft has tried to. They get Windows phones. Like, make a phone that's like, okay, this, like you said, this is optimized for xCloud. People are like, oh, word? Like, let me check for that Microsoft phone. Like, like they had those Microsoft phones, those Windows phones had a high point.
And they have a foundation for an OS because we already have the Xbox app.
Exactly. All this shit is here already. Microsoft has been playing this for years. They've just been like, yo, here's the app. Here's a little streaming service. Here's Game Pass. They just chilling. They're like, yeah, here's this, here's that. Like, whatever. Don't worry about us. We're just here. And then next thing you know, boom, everything goes live. And they're like, okay, you can get this, you can get this, you can get this. As long as you got Game Pass and you bought your games digitally, you can play everything on your phone or your tablet or your laptop. Yo, do whatever you want to do just as long as you subscribe to Game Pass. All right, say less.
Thanks.
What are we talking about? Like, you sign me up. Where do I sign? Like, just like whatever.
Yeah.
Like, Microsoft knows what they're doing, and I'm here for all of it. I have the more and more this progresses, the less and less interest I have in buying a PlayStation in the first even year that it exists. I just I don't care very much. Like, yeah, I eventually want to play it because I can't, I like to adapt. I like to get my hands in to everything eventually, but I'm not pressing to get a PlayStation.
Right, like
if I do, then
like I'm gonna miss. What am I gonna miss? Like 4 games?
You're 4.
That's it.
4. You're gonna miss whatever the new God of War is gonna be.
Yeah.
Spider-Man,
Horizon.
The new Horizon, and
potentially a Last of Us 3.
Sure. New Last of Us, or maybe they might.
It's got to come out at some point in that gen.
They might do another Uncharted with different characters, and maybe Drake is in a mentor role type of shit. Like,
well, like if you haven't already played one of them already, like,
because I'm not checking for Ratchet and Clank. I'm not checking for Gran Turismo because
Sackboy.
Forza's. I'm not checking for Sackboy. No, none of that. You can go ahead and I don't. How Sony people were so hyped over that stuff, and I'm just like, I don't. What are you 10? Like I don't. I don't understand. Like why was everybody so hyped? The Spider-Man shit was dope. Okay, it looked dope, and it's like I like that version of Spider-Man. Miles Morales is dope. We appreciate the ethnic Spider-Man.
Everybody loves that. Everybody loves it. Yeah.
But other than that, I'm like, okay, this is a waste of time. Horizon is fine. Okay, great. But okay, what are we doing here?
Yeah. Like, yo, you're gonna make these fools kick out another $500 to play 3 games.
Like, come on, check me in 2 years when God of War 2 comes out, because that's that's all we care about. Another God of War, but then it's just
there's the limited backwards compatibility feature.
Right, Microsoft is already like, yo, just play all that shit. Yo, bring that too. They've already cooled up the phrase. They're not even calling it backwards compatible. They're just calling it back compatible. Like, yo, y'all are on it. They've just legit just like, yo, back compatible. Like, yeah, I can fuck with that. Thank you.
You're like, you mean backwards? No.
Back compatible, my G. Like, all right.
Like, all right, well.
Yo, I'm here for all of this. Microsoft, I appreciate
I guess so.
you. Yo, I'm here for all of this. I'm here for Microsoft, and I'm here for Nintendo. I'm here for whatever they got. Whatever they got, I'm here for it. Sony, I'm not here for that. I'm not. I'm just not. Nintendo and Microsoft, we're here. We're like this. I'm good. I just gotta find the time. We're good. So apparently Microsoft is closing like most of their retail stores. I don't know if you heard about this. They're closing like 82 of the retail, the physical like brick and mortar joints.
Yeah.
And they're like they're converting them, not those in particular, but they're changing like the remaining locations. There's gonna be one in. Let me look it up real quick.
You know what I want to know.
4 locations. They're going to be called Microsoft Experience Centers: London, New York, Sydney, and Washington. Redmond, Washington, obviously, where the company's based out of. So they're going to be like experience centers where they show you like. Let me see here.
That means I gotta get over to my local Microsoft store because I've only been in there like once or twice, and that would explain why they're closing it, huh?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, we're moving out of, again, Microsoft, kudos, because they're progressive in that way where they understand the landscape. We're moving out of that physical space. Like, we're moving out of that physical space. And those physical Microsoft products, you can just buy from their website. You want to buy, Surface and shit like that, you can just buy it off the website. Like, so they're moving out of that physical space, which I can respect that, and changing it, changing those main locations to like experience centers or whatever digital content that includes. So I'm interested to see what that is, because like I said, I don't remember the last time I was in a Microsoft store, so I'm not really upset per se.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
it's just, it's like it's something you just wish you gave a little more energy to.
I guess.
You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah, you mean like
going into stores used to be an experience. Now it's kind of a chore.
Yeah.
Like, I could go to the Apple, like if I have a problem with my MacBook, I could go to the Apple store, and then you got to wait for the Genius.
Well, you got to wait 16 days. So and you got to make an appointment. So let's not.
That's what I'm saying.
Slow down. You can't just walk in. Let's hold on now.
Now you feel me though.
I do feel you. I do.
With all of that, now I could just jump online and there's literally a person that's texting me.
That's true.
On my screen. I go to a website and there's a little icon at the bottom. You click the icon and it contacts somebody to text you because you're waiting to be spoken to.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, you know.
Like, why would I put my pants on now?
I mean, you don't have to, but
you don't. I mean, to go to the store. I mean, well, guess depends how you roll. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's hilarious. That's hilarious. Yeah. So it's just, I'm excited to see what Microsoft does in the coming months. Again, I'm all about Team Microsoft, Team Nintendo, and again, I don't hope for the failure of Sony. I just don't care for their direction, and I don't care. I don't need. For me, I'm not, because it's not my primary console. You asking me to drop $600 to at launch play one game, because I don't care about any of those other games, because Horizon's not going to be a launch game. Let's understand. I don't think, not to my knowledge. I think Spider-Man will end up being a launch title, but otherwise, I don't care about none of that other shit. I'm not spending $600 to play Spider-Man. Like, do I want to play it? Yes. If somebody put it in front of me, it's like, yo, play this. I'd be like, yeah, fuck yeah, absolutely. But am I gonna finna spend $600 to do that? Absolutely not. Like, you must be out of your damn mind.
Nah. You can get that experience anywhere.
You're bugging. Like, no, absolutely not, sir. So I'm like, I would wait. Like, even I'm at the point where I'm waiting for the PS5 to come out so I can get a PS4 on the cheap. And I can play, because I didn't get a chance to play God of War. I didn't get a chance to play Spider-Man. And I didn't get a chance to play Horizon Zero Dawn. So I'm waiting to just get a PS4 for the cheap, buy those games for the super cheap, because all them shits is like less than $20 now. So I'm get those for the super cheap and enjoy my time with the PS4. And then I'll buy a PS5 like 3 years from now. So it is what it is. Again, Sony, everybody has a space. Everybody in this upcoming generation has a zone and a space to occupy where everybody can be successful without getting in everybody else's way, which I'm fine with that. I think that's dope that we've gotten to a point where nobody has to kill each other off for everybody to eat. So it's like Sony can eat because they are concerned with console sales and first-person exclusive single-player titles, right? Because let's not get it twisted. Those exclusive first party titles, those are single-player games. Spider-Man, God of War, Horizon, Last of Us, all these things are single player games, because Sony's not invested in the multiplayer online experience. They're about single player shit. And when you look at Microsoft, even as epic as Halo is, its single player experience, Halo is just as much about its multiplayer experience as it is that story single play. Even the story mode is not even, most people don't play it to enjoy it just playing it by themselves. They usually play it like co-op, because you can play through the single player story co-op. So
how does that work?
A lot of those games, that's how a lot of people play through Halo Reach, was they played through a co-op, like 3-4 people co-op. Like, you play just, the story doesn't change. It's just, you just playing through it co-op as opposed to playing through it by yourself. So that's dope. But again, Halo's about multiplayer. Forza is about a living world of driving, like Forza Horizon specifically, because motorsport is that shit is too simulation for me. I'll admit that. I'm not about that. I'm an arcade racer all day. I'm not, I want no part of Forza Motorsport. So don't check for me like, yo, come see me in motorsport. No. Horizon, yes, absolutely. And Burnout Paradise, that was my shit. But yeah, and again, I didn't even mention Nintendo because I don't have to, because Nintendo has been occupying their own space since the Wii.
They
Nintendo
put out
was,
their exclusives, and then they put out some third party shit like,
yeah,
oh, this was really popular, so
they've
we'll put out a
had,
version.
speaking of which, they've had their third party come up, and now EA is giving them more titles. Apex Legends is coming to Switch towards the end of the year, which is dope as shit, because I like Apex Legends. I never got too deep into it, and now I'm kind of happy I didn't, because I will absolutely play that shit on the Switch and build up my shit on the Switch, because Apex Legends is a great game and I love my Switch. So those two things go hand in hand. That the Switch is killing, Nintendo is killing, they've always been killing. Yes, the Nintendo Wii was, we don't speak about that. But
the Wii was successful.
Yeah, the Wii was fire. It was successful.
Yeah.
The Wii U was a project. It was a project to see if the Switch would work. And I keep telling people, Nintendo hasn't admitted it, but I'm telling people this is a fact. The Wii U was a test run to see if people would be receptive to the Switch concept. And most people liked the concept of the controller that the Wii U was. Like, oh, I could play this like over here and everything is on the screen. And Nintendo was like taking notes. She's like, oh yeah, you like that, huh? Okay. Okay. Because that's what we really want to do, but we just testing the waters to see if you like it. Oh, you like it. Okay. Here's the real shit. Like, oh, everybody got the Switch. Like, oh my God. Like, yo, it's just the best, just this sliced bread. Like, and the Switch is fire. And now the Switch Lite puts, RIP to the 3DS. Like, we can finally put it to bed. The 3DS had a great run. It had like 16 different iterations, but we can put it to bed now, because now Nintendo you got the main at-home Switch and you got the Switch to take with you mobile. Here you go. Enjoy that. Drink it in. Taste it. It's delicious. So. All in all, on a whole scale, I think I'm just excited for where we go from here. Quite frankly, I'm very much in the space where I'm ready to test the waters to jump back into PC, because especially with Game Pass being what it is, like with all those games that are on Game Pass Ultimate, and that you could just cross over and play them on your PC, like natively through the Game Pass app on the PC. I'm like, which is essentially its own version of Steam. I'm like, yo, if I just get back in the PC game and get my Game Pass subscription, like, do I need a new Xbox? Kind of don't. Like,
I'm in the vibe where I just want to see more games get crossplay.
And I think that also, and I'm glad you mentioned that, because like, I think that's going to be one of those things that is the new prerequisite for these games going forward. Because if you got your games and it's like, okay, do they have crossplay? And they're like, well, we're not really. Why don't they have crossplay? Like, that's going to be the new standard with all
my big brother's a PlayStation dude.
Yeah, mine too.
And I used to love being able to regularly play him in Madden.
Right. Same.
But he lives in a very different state.
Same.
So I can only play the game with him when I'm sitting side by side, and one of us has to sacrifice our console for us to be able to play.
Right.
And I play in leagues every single year, and he plays in leagues every single year.
Right.
And I can't play with my big brother. And That's a big freaking deal to me.
Correct.
Because everybody's got a brother or a cousin or, somebody that they used to play a lot of video games with. And now you're adults and you live a little far from them, so you want to be able to play those games. I think EA has already laid the groundwork to be able to do crossplay. So I'd kind of be disappointed if Madden, FIFA coming out, and
all this shit needs to be crossplay, man.
It all needs to be crossplay now, especially because now Sony guys finally got EA Access as well.
Yeah, all of this needs to be crossplay, and I think good on Activision also for really setting that foundation with Call of Duty being as like crossplay like that. If a franchise as big as that and as popular as that is crossplay, and they've already set that precedent, there's no reason why everything else shouldn't be crossplay coming down.
Right.
There's no excuse. And if you're not crossplay, it's like, okay, why? Don't tell me it's because you couldn't figure out the infrastructure. That's bullshit. Because
once you play Warzone, it's like, okay, you need to have your stuff together.
Correct. That's bullshit. So don't tell me you couldn't get it to work.
Because this can be done.
Yeah, facts. The precedent has been set. It's just a matter of everybody needs to follow suit now. And that needs to be the standards going forward for next generation. That needs to be one of the standards. We're talking about that. We're talking about shit like smart delivery, 60 frames per second at a minimum, right? 60 frames per second. All these things need to, load times cut down to minimal or none, depending on the landscape of the game. You're gonna expect load times from shit like Cyberpunk or GTA and those type of open world, massive scale games, but you want those load times to be minimal. I can't tell you how many times you sitting at the GTA 5 load screen. That GTA 5 load screen, when you go back into the world, that shit is like 10 minutes, dude. Like,
facts.
Like, that is, we need to cut that down. You basically
start the game and then go grab something to eat.
Yeah, we need to cut that down to like a minute and a half. Like, we can cut that down to something like that. That's what we want to see. And then for games that don't have that landscape, the load times need to be like you're to the menu and you hit start game and the shit's already started. There's minimal, kind of skipping. There's minimal load time when you move from one area to another. Boom, boom. We're just going. We're just transitioning. So.
I'll say this: the biggest thing that I expect to see from the Series X, would be really nice is if they actually showed, because they said that they're going to be porting GTA 5 over to the next gen.
Yep.
What I'd really like to see is gameplay of that, because you can, in my opinion, on the current gen, when you watch a game like GTA 5, if you're in, like a sports car in particular, maybe an exotic sports car, and you're driving straight on a road for a really long time, you can start to see how much the game stretches the capabilities of the current gen consoles. And, you see, you can look down the road and see that, everything's, all the textures and all the layers haven't rendered yet. Mm-hmm. And you're able to see that when you're moving really fast, or if you're flying really fast, like if you're in a couple of those scenes where, you get into an actual plane.
Yeah.
And, you can see how long it's taking for things. So things like that is really stretched out. It would be great to be able to see the beauty of a game that's on that scale on the next gen, to where we can see, like, look, like, you will not notice when this stuff is starting to render, because everything just moves that fast. Because we're talking about 12 teraflops. Like, we really want to say that. Like, I haven't seen that before.
Right.
Show me what that is.
Correct.
Like, what can you do with this? Like, show me that. I don't want to say that, like, all the games should be maximizing the capability of the console at launch, but there should be one title that visually shows me what the console is capable of. At least a good chunk of its potential. Like, I want to see that this gen console is possibly still far more advanced than what we currently have.
Correct. 100% agree. And I'm here for it.
So that's what I'm thinking when I think of GTA 5. That's what I think of. I think of a game that not necessarily has like the greatest graphics, but a game that, because there's so much going on, there's so many moving pieces within the game, that it does max out. It does. I don't want to say max out, because that's kind of it stretches the capabilities of the current gen.
There you go. Good word.
Yeah.
But as I said before, and I'll say again in closing, I'm here for it. I'm here for all of it except PS5. But I'm here for all of
something good.
I'm here for it. I'm here for all of it. This man, I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready for next gen. I mean, I'll get in it when the time is right. I mean, you know, if I got it, then I'll drop it. You know, if depending on how much my console's worth. But again, you know, I move some chips around. But you know, we'll see what happens. But I'm ready for it, and you know, everybody's ready for it, especially the way the world has been and coming out of things. People are ready for the normality of things to, you know, kind of come through. And
we might be getting a second stimulus in July. So
I mean, that would be something. That would be something for a lot of people, especially the people that really need it. The shit like that, you know, needs to happen. It's important. But as far as these games go, hey, like I said, I'm here for it.
They're gonna get bought either way.
Oh, they're gonna get bought either way because there's a lot of people. There's a lot of people still working. A lot of people that have been working. Myself, one of them. Since day one of this pandemic. So it is what it is. The certain jobs, the money is still coming through, and people still getting checks. And for most people, this is almost like nothing has happened. They've still been going to work normally. A lot of the essential employees. Shout out to y'all. You know, so you know, it is what it is. So that has been another interesting episode of the Flash and Dash, but not Dash, actually C podcast. We thank you again for joining us. We appreciate y'all. Check us out on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Come to the Facebook page, Sports Gaming Anonymous. Check us out there. Check us out on Twitter. We're active. We're talking sports. We're talking games. We're talking music. You know, we're talking anime, all that stuff. Everything in between. Come check us out. We have something for you. And anything else? Anything you got before we head out?
I ain't got it. You know what I mean?
I feel you. But
let's
that's
go to the moon.
This man over here. This is why we don't let him out. I'm sorry. But we appreciate y'all. Thank you again for joining us, and we will catch you guys in the next video. Peace out.
Peace.